Hello everyone, you're watching TVC News at 7 with Nifemi Oguntoye. We'll begin with Nigeria's war against illicit drugs as the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency, NDLEA, has dismantled a Nigerian-Mexican methamphetamine cartel operating inside an Ogun State forest. The operation led to the arrest of a suspected drug baron, 3 Mexican methamphetamine experts and 6 Nigerian collaborators. Sifone Sien has more.
In what authorities describe as the largest methamphetamine bust in Nigeria's history, operatives of the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency carried out coordinated raids across Ogun and Lagos states, shutting down an industrial-scale clandestine drug laboratory hidden inside a forest in Ijebu East local government area of Ogun State. Chairman of the agency, retired Brigadier General Buba Marwa, disclosed this at a news conference. He says the operation, coordinated by the NDLEA Special Operations Unit after months of intelligence gathering, targeted a syndicate accused of producing methamphetamine for both local and international distribution networks.
This was the biggest clandestine laboratory ever discovered in Nigeria, and as well the largest seizure of methamphetamine by the agency. This criminal syndicate did not just traffic drugs. They were actively manufacturing industrial-scale quantities of highly lethal methamphetamine right on our soil, threatening the national security and public health in Nigeria.
Operatives arrested the alleged cartel kingpin, who was picked up at his luxury residence in Lekki, Lagos State. The NDLEA chairman says the operation has dealt a crippling blow to transnational organized crime and confirmed growing collaboration between local drug cartels and foreign criminal networks.
Our forensic experts note that the 2,419.48 kilograms of finished and liquid methamphetamine seized represents millions of street doses that would have flooded our local communities and international markets, causing untold destruction, psychosis, and violence.
The NDLEA says the discovery highlights a disturbing trend in which foreign methamphetamine specialists are recruited by local criminal networks to establish production hubs inside remote Nigerian communities. Sifone Sien, TVC News, Abuja.
Let's now talk to Director Media and Advocacy at NDLEA, Femi Babafemi, who joins me on the news this hour. Mr. Babafemi, this appears to be one of your agency's biggest cartel busts in recent years. What exactly does this discovery tell us about just how deeply international drug syndicates have penetrated Nigeria?
Yeah, definitely that's a very troubling one. Indeed, it's not something that is new, but it's something it's a trend we have been following, because when you talk of methamphetamine production, it's until some few years ago before we could have some level of expertise by Nigerians to produce that leather substance. But then again, because Latin American experts, those who are very good at preparing or cooking methamphetamine. In this case, I mean, nobody knew they'll be back again. And so suddenly, following a lot of serious intelligence gathering, the agency was able to confirm that indeed the local networks, criminal networks here, have started liaising with the Mexicans again to bring them into rural communities to start setting up the clandestine laboratory. And that was exactly what we discovered in the Ijebu East, deep inside the forest. As I've been shown on your screen, that indeed that particular location is very isolated, right in the middle of a forest, which was set up under the guise of establishing a farm. But unfortunately, rather than conducting any agricultural business there, all that was being done there was preparation, cooking, and production of large-scale industrial scale production of methamphetamine. And then, fortunately, we confirmed the intelligence we've gathered, and in a very coordinated operation, simultaneously, our operatives, the early core of our special operations units, were able to get into the forest, deep locate them, and got them off guard, while at the same time simultaneously raiding the home, the luxury mansion of the drug baron himself, who was in Lekki area of Lagos.
You look at a meth lab of this size operating inside a forest in Ogun State. It raises concerns about intelligence and local complicity. How long had this cartel been under surveillance, and are there indications of insider protection or even official collaboration?
Well, what was obvious, like I did say earlier, and as also disclosed in the statement by the Chairman Chief Executive of the agency, General Marwa, in his address earlier today, is the fact that that particular location, or that the fenced area appears to be an expanse of land allocated to this to the individual or the organization for farming, but unfortunately, rather than doing anything close to farming or agricultural enterprise, what was being done there was massive production of methamphetamine. So we cannot say precisely yet. As you can see, what you have there, foreign elements. That's Mexicans, 3 Mexicans who are actually the experts, what you call cooks, professional cooks, not the usual chef, but then meth cooks who were actually brought in to conduct this kind of criminal enterprise on Nigerian soil. And then, so unless it's otherwise established, but for us, we believe that that expanse of land was gotten under the guise of doing some agricultural enterprise there. Okay. Certainly not. Nobody will, no government or community will approve such, in knowing fully the danger that will pose to the environment, to the community, and the general public.
Beyond the arrests and seizures that we report every other day on the news, how is NDLEA really disrupting the financial and logistical backbone of these networks? What message should Nigerians take from this operation about your agency's capacity to confront transnational drug crime head-on?
Thank you very much, Nifemi. I'll tell you that indeed this is just one of the samples, or one of the instances where the agency had gone beyond local criminal network to dismantle an international network. This is coming barely 2 weeks after we conducted a similar massive operation extends beyond Nigeria, extending into France, Switzerland, and Greece. That's a multi-country operation. That's that's the Simon Amade's drug trafficking organization. In that case alone, not less than $60 million was blocked in the account of the individual, the kingpin in that case. And in this case, you're looking at a massive, almost $500 billion worth of illicit substances. Just imagine what that would do. What that will cause in our nation, or even beyond the shores of Nigeria. What that kind of huge amount of money, if were to be allowed to go into the hands of these people. But then, because of proactive operations, and again working in concert, in collaboration with our international partners across the world, because now I tell you that the NDLEA is very much deep in partnership with the best of law enforcement institutions across the globe, and when we talk of drug law enforcement across the globe.
Femi Babafebe is Director, Media and Advocacy, NDLEA. Thank you for your insight tonight.
Always a pleasure being with you, Nifemi. Thank you.